What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another H.A.T format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your H.A.T format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. Anyways, the matchup I have for you today, we have Absolute Hercules, who is going to be on Geargia Traptrix or Traptrix Geargia, and their opponent Alex Rod, who is going to be on Worm Traptrix. I feel like it's been a pretty long time since I've shown off Worms on the channel, so hopefully this will be a good match, but the only way to know for sure is to actually check it out. So without further ado, let's get started. Here it looks like Absolute Hercules is going to win the rock, paper, scissors and get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Mermail, Breakthrough Skill, Accelerator, Mind Control, and Geargia Gear. A pretty solid hand, honestly, for starting this one out. And on the other side, we see Breakthrough Skill, Wiretap, Soul Charge, Duality, and Max C. So a bit of an awkward hand, but definitely not the worst hand. And here, Absolute Hercules will get a draw for turn, getting their own copy of Max C. So very solid overall, starting the turn by normal summoning that copy of Mermail and picking up a copy of Bottomless before setting 3 back row and passing it over to Alex, who will get a copy of Worm Yagen for turn. And I'll go over the worms as it has been a little while since I actually went over these, and it says if this is the only monster you could, or if the only monster you control is Worm Zex, you can special summon this card from your graveyard in face down defense position. If you do, remove it from play when it is removed from the field, and when this card is flipped face up, select one face up monster your opponent controls and return it to its owner's hand. A very solid card, 1800 defense. Being able to compulse a card on flip is definitely solid. And so anyways, let's see how Alex chooses to navigate their turn. Here, it looks like they're going to start by activating Duality, and here revealing Breakthrough Skill, Compulse, and Karma Cut. Kind of interesting to see that card in this deck, but Karma Cut is a very strong card overall, and here we are going to see them just set that copy of Yagen and 3 back row before passing it over to Absolute Hercules, but in end phase they are going to activate that copy of Geargia Gear, summoning a copy of MK2 and Geargiano. From here, Absolute Hercules draws for turn, gets a copy of Soul Charge, and in standby phase it looks like Alex is going to go and activate Max C, just making sure that, you know, they get, if the first action is an Xyz summon, that they will get a draw off of it. And here we will see Hercules go and activate Mind Control to take that copy of Worm Yagen. Funny enough, this would be able to trigger if Alex had a monster on board, but unfortunately they do not, or maybe fortunately for them, they don't. And here just flipping it up, and from here switching the MK2 and Geargiano to attack and attacking directly. Now, honestly, that is a little bit of a risky play in a way, because like had Alex been on something maybe like Dimensional Prison or even Mirror Force, could have really disrupted this. Now obviously the Geargiano and MK2 are both level 4s because they were summoned off of the Geargia Gear, so it wouldn't have mattered as much, but at the same time, like a Mirror Force would have just blown this out. Again, not the most common card in H.A.T format, but there definitely are people that do play it. I know from time to time we've seen like Hero Beat play Mirror Force. We've seen Spellbook from time to time, some of the decks that play a little less monsters and stuff. But anyways, enough about that. They are going to be able to get in here, it seems. So attacking in for a pretty solid amount of damage, then going main phase 2, and they are going to play into the Max C just a little bit, going for a copy of 101, and here Alex will get a copy of Firehand. So besides, I guess, the Worm and the Traptrix, they are actually on hands as well here. And let's see if Absolute Hercules chooses to go and give Alex yet another draw, and it seems like they aren't gonna, so just leaving the Geargiano and the MK2 a little vulnerable here, not playing too much into the Max C, and Alex will draw for turn, getting a copy of Mermail, so not a bad draw at all, but they are instead gonna run out that copy of Firehand, going to battle phase, attacking into the Honor Arc, and Absolute Hercules on declaration is going to drop that copy of Max C, and here we will see Alex chain the copy of Karma Cut. This card, I'll go over it real quick. Discard 1 card, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, banish that target, then banish all cards with the same name as that monster from your opponent's graveyard. So here, just activating that to get rid of the Honor Arc here, which is going to work, and then the Firehand will be able to redeclare here, going and getting over that copy of Geargia and not giving Absolute Hercules a single draw there. Very solid little interaction there. And here Hercules will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Armor, which is a great draw, special summoning the copy of Accelerator, and then going into another copy of 101. Again, that copy of MK2 was level 4 because of the Geargia gear. So here, yep, just summoning the 101 and going to get over that copy of Firehand, but it looks like on declaration, we will see the breakthrough skill, which is a great play again from Alex here, being able to negate the Honor Arc, so then when it gets over the Firehand will be able to destroy it, and then from there, the Firehand will be able to float because they were able to destroy the Honor Arc. So here an Ice Hand will be summoned. Main phase 2, Absolute Hercules will be able to go and just set that copy of Armor and pass it back over to Alex. Here Alex gets a copy of Traptrix Trample Nightmare, a great card against the Geargia deck, going for a Soul Charge, looks like going for 3, bringing back the copy of Yagan, Mermail, and Firehand, and paying down pretty low, only at 1900 life now. And here the Mermail will trigger, going after the copy of Bottomless, and then Breakthrough Skill is going to be chained to that, though, going after the Mermail. And here it looks like Alex is thinking, and they are going to use that copy of Wiretap, shuffling it back in, and then the Bottomless is going to get destroyed there off of the Mermail. I mean, I guess they could have, if they wanted to, chain it. The Mermail's unaffected, but they could have at least cleared the Firehand in that position. It wasn't really a great thing. I mean, I guess the best option probably would have been to go and use the breakthrough skill as we saw there. But yeah, I guess it's just unfortunate that Alex had the copy of Bottomless there. But anyways, here it looks like we are going to see a overlay for a copy of Diamond Direwolf, and it is going to use the effect to clear the armor, and then using the Yagan and the Firehand to go for a copy of Emerald, and shuffling back the Ice Hand, Firehand, and Maxi, and drawing into a copy of Maxi. Very nice, setting the Traptrix Trample Nightmare, and now it's in Absolute Hercules' court to see what they can draw into. Getting a copy of Arsenal is definitely a good start to that, especially with Soul Charge. So going for Soul Charge, and here Alex is going to chain the copy of Maxi. So here it looks like Absolute Hercules is going for a very big Soul Charge, going for Mermail, Accelerator, and Armor, and then on summon, Mermail is going to activate, going for the Traptrix Trample Nightmare, which obviously it's unaffected by whole normal traps, so not really doing anything there. And after that, it looks like Absolute Hercules is going to normal summon the Arsenal, overlaying into a copy of Black Ship of Corn, using the effect and clearing the Daigusto Emerald. Now keep in mind, I should say that Alex has been drawing off of all these special summons, so drawing into a copy of W Nebula Meteorite, kind of a mouthful, and a copy of Ice Hand there. And I'll go over the Meteorite if it actually comes up here. And then here we are going to see the armor using the effect and just setting itself. Here Alex is going to need a good draw to actually get out of this. Getting a copy of Torrential is a start. Here it looks like just setting everything and back over to Absolute Hercules, who gets a copy of Wiretap, flipping up the armor and picking up a copy of Accelerator. And from here, let's see, using the armor, just flipping itself back face down and setting that copy of Wiretap. So I guess, Alex didn't want to use the Torrential there simply because any normal summon really just kind of kills them there. So there's not necessarily a reason to. Also, I guess had they tried extending too much, they could have used that as well as, using the W Nebula Meteorite, but it kind of makes sense here just to play it slow. So from here, it looks like they are just going to pass, and Alex is going to pick up another copy of Worm Yagan, just setting it, and here Absolute Hercules gets a copy of Dark Hole, so they really could honestly play this aggressive if they wanted to. Here flipping up armor, using the effect, and getting a copy of MK2. I'm wondering if they're going to Dark Hole here. No, they're going to go for the copy of MK2, using the effect, bringing back the Geargia, and going for a copy of Soul of Silver Mountain, using the effect and locking down that copy of Torrential, which is kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, this W Nebula Meteorite is very good in this position, and I guess now I'll go over it since it could potentially come up. It says change all face down monsters on the field to face up defense position. During the end phase this turn, change all face-up light reptile monsters you control to face-down defense position, then draw a card for each, and after that, special summon one level 7 or higher light reptile type monster from your deck. So really it just does everything, and paired with Yagin will be able to trigger compulsing a monster on board. So just a really good overall position to be in for Alex. Even though it doesn't seem great, they definitely have plays here. But even then, Absolute Hercules just has so much going for them. So let's see. And, making sure that they do have wiretap for that also. Maybe there was a reason to flip the Torrential at that point to just clear everything. Though at the same time, the Accelerator would be able to add back, but at that point, Absolute Hercules did use their normal summon already, so it's tough to say what the right play in this kind of grindy situation is. So here, Absolute Hercules is going to go for a copy of Geargia X using the effect and adding back the copy of Accelerator from Graveyard, and then special summoning it, and going for a copy of Dweller, using the effect of Dweller, switching everything to attack. Soul of Silver Mountain is going to attack into the copy of Yagin and compulsing the black ship here. And this actually, doesn't have enough attack to get over the Yagin, which is kind of funny there. So it looks like the Geargia is going to have to run that over, and then the Dweller is going to get over the Ice Hand, which unfortunately is not going to be able to do anything here because of that Dweller. So here, Alex will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Fire Hand, and unfortunately, it's just not enough for them here. So moving on into game number 2, Alex will get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Geargia Gear, Arsenal, Soul Charge, Warning, and Mermail. Again, a very solid hand here. And on the other side, Traptrix, Traphole Nightmare, Dionea, Max C, Mermail, and Bottomless. So also not the worst hand. A lot of decks only do play the 2 Traphole traps, so that could be a little rough that this Mermail could, in theory, be dead, especially if they summon it and then go like no effect. It might be kind of telegraphed, but at the same time, opening the Mermail while already, or opening the Dionea, I should say, while already opening the Mermail is also very strong. So let's see here, getting a draw for turn, getting a copy of Compulse. And here it looks like they are just going to set the Mermail, kind of bluffing a hand, and then setting 3 back row. I think that was definitely the right play for them. And over to Absolute Hercules, who gets a copy of Upstart. Here they are going to fire it off, getting a copy of Wiretap, normal summoning their copy of Mermail, and searching a Bottomless. From here, just setting 4 back row, and over to Alex, who gets that W Nebula Meteorite. I'm just going to call it Meteorite because it is tripping me up today. But anyways, here setting that, going to end phase where Absolute Hercules is going to fire off the Geargia Gear, summoning the MK2 and Geargiano, and from there, drawing for turn, getting a copy of MST, and we are going to see Alex just drop that Max C from hand right away. Did I say Max C? Did I say MST? I completely forget there. But anyways, setting that and just passing turn where Alex is going to get a copy of Yagin. From here, going and flipping up the copy of Mermail, but that is going to be met with Warning. Kind of a weird play there, honestly. I'm not sure why they would Warning that necessarily, because like any normal summon would then go into a rank 4 and you could just Warning that, unless they're thinking that maybe Alex has their own copy of Wiretap or something. I'm not fully sure. Maybe they just wanted to... No, I'm not really sure there necessarily. I guess because the Bottomless wouldn't work on it, so had they flipped that and then just run over, say, one of the Geargianos, that could be rough. But I don't know about that. Here, Dionea is going to be summoned, using its effect and bringing out the Mermail, which is going to activate, popping the copy of Bottomless, and then going to battle phase, running over the copy of Geargiano, and main phase 2, overlaying into a copy of King of the Fairlimbs. Okay, that works. Detaching the Mermail and picking up a copy of Worm Zex. So we are finally seeing that. This card says when this card is normal summon, you can send a reptile worm monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you control a face-up worm Yagin, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. So now you kind of see the loop that this sort of creates here. And from here, it looks like end phase Blind MST hitting the Meteorite, which is a great card for them to hit, especially, now that this whole thing is set up here. Absolute Hercules will get a draw for turn, getting that copy of Armor, overlaying into a copy of Exciton, and what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6. So being able to go for that, using it, and that is going to be met with the copy of Traptrix Trap-Hole Nightmare, but we do see that Absolute Hercules has the wiretap here, so shuffling it back and everything is going to get cleared. They just summoned this, so they actually can't switch it to defense. Maybe they're just saying that they were summoning it in defense, but yeah, they definitely could not do that there. Regardless, after that, we are going to see the armor set, and then back over to Alex, who now gets a copy of Karma Cut. And let's see, normal summoning the copy of Zex, sending a copy of Yagin, going to battle phase and running over the Exciton. So funny enough, maybe it would have been better to actually just keep that in attack so that this wouldn't be able to happen, especially given they did search this, so you did sort of know of that. But anyways, here it looks like going main phase 2, setting the Karma Cut, using the effect of the Yagin to special summon itself face down, and then from here passing a turn where Absolute Hercules gets a copy of Accelerator. Again, just a great card for them, flipping up the armor, getting a copy of MK2 from deck, normal summoning it, using the effect, and going for the Geargiano, and maybe we'll see a... Oh, interesting. I thought for a second they were going to go for the Soul of Silver Mountain early on again to lock this down before doing a play like this, because now they can just kind of chain this. So I personally think that maybe that would have been the move. You already still had a Geargia armor on board, so the Accelerator could always special summon if need be. But anyways, yeah, going and paying a bunch, going for the Mermail, which is going to pop that copy of Karma Cut, and the Karma Cut's going to be chained to that, and here it looks like they are going to banish the armor, and then at that point they are... Let me see, just banishing the armor and then special summoning the copy of Accelerator there, overlaying into a copy of Alucard, using the effect to pop it, and the Yagin will get banished because it left the field after using its effect, and then overlaying the Mermail and the Accelerator into a copy of Black Ship, so it just keeps coming up with the Black Ship, using that, and then sending the copy of Zex, doing 1,000, and from here it looks like Absolute Hercules is going to take that one. A little unfortunate for Alex Rod here. It just like Absolute Hercules' hand were just so good there. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. Comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out. Share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays, whether you won or lost. If you thought the deck you or your opponent played was pretty cool, feel free to send that in. I'm sure a lot of people would love to see it. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.